Yes, good evening, good evening. Very good evening to all the great and lovely participants. Let me personally welcome to all the beloved participants. Yes, Mr. Anil, good evening. Good evening, Miss Aram. Good evening, Bharatendu. Good evening, Gautam. I'm glad that you have come. Good evening, Lakshman. Good evening, Parvati. Good evening, Rasika, Srinivas, Sriram, Sushma, and Swati. Very good evening to all the lovely participants. The weather in Delhi is quite hazy. It's in between hot and cold. And that's why today the topic which I am about to introduce, it is also going to give you a bump. It is also going to shake you. It is something for which I have to do quite a couple of research. There are some things which may challenge your thought process, some things which may challenge your belief system. So there are certain rules that I would like to state before we move further. Rule number one, stay till the end because half knowledge is venomous. If you go with partial knowledge, it's not going to help you and your time. So stay till the end because so many things I'm about to cover. Second is, if you find anything important, create the notes. Creating note will make sure that you earn notes in your life. And third and most important thing, that the Q&A session will be open by the end of the workshop. So in case if you come across any doubt, if you come across any question, you are most welcome. There is one more rule that I would like to state, that is please be on camera. Why? Because this is going to be an interactive session. You are not bound to listen to me. You can also participate by means of your video, by means of your facial expressions. Great. I can see Lakshman putting on his video, and I do request all the lovely participants to be on camera. Keep all the distractions away and have the courage. Why do you want to work upon your communication? The number one reason is to be fearless. And the first thing that you can do to be fearless is to, of course, be on camera, isn't it? Such lovely faces all of you have. In case if you have any network error, of course, you can keep your video off. However, I do encourage all the participants to be on camera and respond through your body gesture. Respond by means of your chat section. So am I clear to all of you? If yes, type Y in the chat section. If you are clear with the rules, please type Y in the chat section. You can participate by means of chat section. And meanwhile, I'm keeping all of you on mute. So you won't be able to participate and speak for this 40 minutes. Then after I will open up the Q&A. So let me do the muting and let's go ahead and start our wonderful session. So how many of you are excited? I have so many things to offer today. Do you have a sense of excitement? See, all of you have come here to get what? To get some ideas on how to lead a positive, how to lead a remarkable life. So how many of you are excited? Please type I. Let's see how many of you are looking excited. How many of you are, wow, that's wonderful. So many people are excited. And I'm also excited. In fact, you radiate. That's the first lesson of communication as well. That if you want others to respond to you, have the energy. Because we resonate energy, we transfer energy. Now let me share the PPT because today is so much I have to cover, and without presentation, it's really not possible to come and give so much of delivery. So here we go. On count of 3, 2, 1, let's begin. And here comes the topic of the day, which is what is stopping you to get success? Yes, we want to work upon English. We want to work upon communication skills. We want to work upon multiple aspects of life. But what's the modus operandi? Why do we want all of this? Of course, to be getting success. But the problem is that something is stopping us from getting the success. And that's what the agenda of today's session is, to understand what's stopping us. Let me ask you one question, and here goes the question. Are you investing your time, or are you wasting your time? Are you investing your time, or are you wasting your time? Of course, I know the answer. Your presence here shows that you are investing your time and not wasting your time, because time is the asset which no one can give back to you. It is something which we take it casually. Why? Because God has given it to us for free. But imagine people who die, and before dying, they have so much of unfulfilled wishes in their heart. And the sole reason why they could not achieve more is because they did not realize the value of time. In fact, one of my mentors, he always says that if you earn money, if you get money, do not purchase shirt, do not purchase t-shirt, purchase time, buy time. Because if you can buy time, you can do anything and everything in life, because the time which you buy, it will help you to multiply your income. It is something that has literally changed my life. It contributes a lot in my life. So this is the first lesson for all of you. Do not waste time, invest time, and buy time. You can invest your time only when you will buy time. For example, today on this Saturday workshop, you could have done so many things. In fact, Netflix has recently released RRR movie, and KGF 2 is also there on Netflix. So you could have binge watched on Netflix, but you decided to come and attend the workshop. So you have bought your time from Netflix, and you are giving your time, you are investing your time over here. That's the first lesson. Are you investing, or are you wasting your time? Because if you invest on something, it gives you what? Returns. So if you invest your time over here, it will give you what? Returns. And the return on investment of time is nothing but wisdom that will lead you to earn success. That's the first lesson which you can learn from the beginning. Now let's move forward and let's see what other this topic has to offer. See, when it comes to preparing any food, if you have to prepare any food, if you have to prepare any recipe, you have to follow a process. So if I have to prepare tea for my mother, which I occasionally do, so what I have to do, I have to follow certain process, and I can get the end result, which is tea. Of course, it can be quite pathetic because I'm not good in kitchen. However, I will get the result. So similarly, there is a process that you have to undergo to get perpetual growth and success in your life, to have a plausible effect, to have an amazing, astounding effect, to get the success, to reach out to the destination that you want. So there is a process. If I have to go to what, where, let's say Vaishno Devi. So what I have to do, I have to follow a process. I have to book my train ticket, then I have to travel, I have to take the bus. So everything is a process. So similarly, success has also a process. But what is our approach towards success is that we get casual. We get casual. We feel that just follow the rituals and norms of what society has to offer. And if we do that, we are going to get successful. And we start following the things blindly without questioning anything. So there is a process. So let's see, because so many things needs to be covered. I will try my best to encapsulate everything in such a short span of time. So yes, similarly, success has a process. So let's see what process success has. So then the knowledge that I'm about to share, it's like this tip of iceberg. Tip of iceberg. Maybe there are certain ideas which may seem quite familiar to you, but just like the tip of iceberg, the iceberg may seem to you quite small, but it has the relinquishing power to even destroy the ship. So similarly, the knowledge is going to be too deep. The knowledge is deep rooted. Hence, there may be certain points which may sound similar to you, but that's fine, because repetition adds value. If you repeat something, it adds value. over a period of time, what happens? We forget. And it is somehow the programming that the mother nature has already done with us. And it's completely fine. We forget. Forgetting is our nature. And that's why every Saturday I come, I ring the bell so that you get back to your momentum. So the ideas that I'm about to share, it's like the tip of iceberg. Maybe it may sound some vague, but success is not a vague concept. Success lies on certain basic principles which we overcome, which we ignore, thinking that these things are not important at all. We take success casually. All of us, we say that no, we want success, we want to achieve this and that. But let me ask you a question that will really blow your mind. It literally had blown my mind when I came across this question. Repetition brings value. So if you come across any idea which you have heard before, congratulations, nice, but still it is your duty to listen to it again, because repetition brings value. So here is this man. There are two ways to measure level of ambition. All of you, I believe, okay, how many of you are ambitious about success? Ambitious means you are hungry about success. Please type I in the chat section. Let me see how many of you are ambitious. Okay, Sushma is ambitious. Wow, good. Srinivas, Mr. Satish, Mr. Raju, Aram, Srinivas Reddy. My God, means all of you are somehow ambitious. Now let me ask you two questions, like the definition of ambition or how ambitious you are. It can be measured by two things. It can be measured by two things. See, everything needs to be measured. We cannot say that I can be successful. Even we measure water as well, 1 liter, 2 liter of water. So even ambition as well, it has a process by which we can measure it. So let's see what are these two processes to measure, two ways to measure your level of ambition. The first one is sense of urgency. How urgent you want that thing. So let's say if I want success, I want it urgently. If yes, I will stop procrastinating. I will stop giving excuses and I will take the action. Like in this session, I can see so many students. You got the opportunity of attending the workshop. You did not delay it. Immediately you signed up for it. And right now you are attending the sessions. In fact, I come across a lot of people, a lot of students who are so energetic, passionate, and enthusiastic towards improving their skills that they do not delay. They immediately enroll, and from the next day, they start their journey. So the first thing is sense of urgency, how urgent that thing is, how urgent success is, how urgent communication skill is. If there is something which is urgent, what we do? We perform it. So if there is something which you are ambitious about, your sense of urgency will define how much ambitious you are. And the second is how long a person can persist. Over a period of time, it may happen. In fact, it may not, it must happen that there will be a point of time when you, after even going behind or running behind your dreams, it may seem a vague concept. You may feel that I cannot get success. Who am I? I'm not talented. I cannot communicate effectively. My family doesn't support me. I do not have the background. I'm not successful. My father doesn't have wealth. So over a period of time, sometimes you are going to doubt on your abilities. And that's the second thing which is going to measure your ambition at that point of time, which is your persistence. Persistence means how easily and how long are you willing to play the game? Are you somebody who says, I quit after the first over of the match? Or are you somebody who wants to play till 50th over because you do not want to give up? So there are some people who, after playing 6 balls, after hitting 6 balls, they may say that nothing is happening, let me quit. And there are some people who would like to follow the process. They would like to persist because they know that maybe if they miss 11 or 10 balls, but at the end, if they hit sixer, it will be equivalent. Like they will make over it. So these are the two things that measure how ambitious you are towards success. Now let's move ahead and let's see the next point, which is to double your income. This is the famous quotation that I have come that I read in a book called Everyday Hero Manifesto by Robin Sharma. So there is a book called Everyday Hero Manifesto by Robin Sharma. Robin Sharma is somebody who is my role model. I love him because of the kind of values that he shares, the kind of thought process that this person has. And he's also the writer of The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. So he says that to double your income, if whatever your income is, if you want to double your income, and when Robin Sharma says something, I literally pay attention to it because he's somebody who coaches Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos. So he says that to double your income and impact and triple your investment in two key areas. So if you really want to double your income and impact, triple your investment where in two key areas. The first one is personal mastery. You should always keep on investing upon yourself, which is called as personal mastery. And the second one is professional capability. So right now you have a job does not mean that you, without learning anything, can go into the next level. You need to keep on upgrading yourself. You need to keep on achieving personal mastery and professional capability. That is the famous mantra, though it may sound simple, but most of the people miss out on these basics. Basics are really important. People know that we have to take care of our health. It's a very basic thing, but how many people achieve it? So a constant reminder keeps you on check. It keeps you on track. Before moving ahead, I would like to quote here a stock take paradox. I don't know whether you have heard about it or not, but what is stock take paradox? Stock take paradox is that, and let me read it out because it's quite complicated. So stock take paradox means the ability to remain brutally realistic and disciplined in the short term whilst retaining unshakable optimism in the long term. Quite a technical definition, but let me simplify it for you. That stock take paradox means today I may say something and it will hurt you because I have so many things in store. So maybe it's going to hurt you, but that's completely fine. Stock take paradox means you are disciplined, you are committed, you are absolutely open to listen to the truth for short time so that in long time you can persist and get your results. And so many of us in short time we want everything. We want results, we want happiness, we want returns on our investments. But that's the mistake that we do, and that's what this stock take paradox defines. That success is not a one day game. It is something that needs to be played with persistence, patience. So let's apply the principle of stock take paradox, because today the things that I have in store for you, it may hit you hard, but that's necessary. So always be open for getting punched, because even baby giraffe, I must believe you know how giraffe, like how tall the giraffe is. So when the giraffe gives birth to a baby, what happens that as soon as the baby giraffe gets birth, the mother giraffe kicks baby giraffe really hard. The mother giraffe kicks the baby giraffe really hard, and it's a proven thing. You can see, you can observe it in Discovery and National Geography. So when the baby giraffe gets burned, the mother giraffe hits baby giraffe really hard. Now the baby giraffe, without any idea what's going on, tries to snap out by trying to get on its feet, but still due to just inability to stand, again the mother giraffe hits the baby giraffe. Now the baby giraffe gets to understand that if I do not stand up, then this big creature called my mother is going to hit me, hit me, hit me. So the baby giraffe tries to lift up, and after 3, 4, or 5 really hard kicks, like if the giraffe kicks you, I'm sure you and I will surely die. So after 4 or 5 kicks, the baby giraffe finally stands. So the mother giraffe was not kicking the baby giraffe to hurt, but the mother giraffe knew that once the baby giraffe gets born, I have to go into the forest to get some food. And in my absence, hyenas or lions may come. So if the baby giraffe is not in a position to stand and run, then it may die. That's why the mother giraffe had to kick the baby giraffe. And similarly, life throws challenges to us. Life throws challenges, life kicks really hard, brutally hard. Sometimes we feel that we should just give up. Life is not meant for us. But there is a famous lesson that don't go through life, grow through life. Don't go through life, grow through life, because life is giving you challenges and kicking you and pushing you, not because life wants you to go down, but life knows that in future you are going to have so much of challenge, and for that you need to be ready by today. You need to be ready by today. And that's what stock take paradox is. You need to get feedback, you need to work with a disciplined approach, because over a period of time, you can see the results and success. Now let's proceed further in this stock take paradox and see how long do we live. Now this is an interesting study. I love to talk about it. And please, if it is possible, take the screenshot, because this will blow your mind. When I heard it from one of my mentors, I literally could not believe. And I just was thinking that why is it this simple concept is not being taught in our schools and colleges, and because of which we do not realize the value of time. So how long do we live? We have this conception that we live for 80, 90, 100 years. The study shows by WHO that the average lifespan of human being is 78 years. So let's see how long do we live? How long do we truly live? So if average life expectancy is 78 years, we spend almost 28 years in sleeping. Means out of 24 hours, 1/3, which is 7 to 8 hours, we spend on sleeping. So if you see by that norm, on an average, we spend 28 years in sleeping. We spend 11 years in working, provided that you are working for 8 hours a day. Sometimes we work for 9, 10, even 11 hours. So you can do the maths. But for 8 hours of routine work, if you take that calculation in picture, over a period of 78 years, we work for 11 years. We watch TV, we browse internet for another 11 years, which definitely could be more, because after the advent of Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, this amount has increased. So we spend 11 years watching TV and browsing internet. Traffic, my God, in a city like Delhi, an average person spends almost 4 years in traffic. And if you live in a city where the traffic is more, you can do the maths. In short, we spend 4 years in traffic, eating and getting dressed. We spend time in eating, we spend time in getting dressed, and some mundane task which doesn't add any value to our time. We spend another 15 years in that. So time left to make a difference. If you do the maths, you spend 28 years in sleeping, 11 years in working, 11 years in watching or browsing internet, 4 years in traffic, and 15 years in getting dressed. So how much time you truly have to work upon your success? Only 9 years. The last point, only 9 years you have to work upon success. And when I came across this concept, it literally blew my mind that I just have only 9 years to work upon my success, to work upon my ambitions. And I have not even added the traveling time, because we also go for traveling. If I add that time too, the number of hours will get reduced. If I add the time that during which we cannot do anything, for example, when we have fever, then you can reduce down the time. You can do the maths. So all of us have less than 9 years to create an impact. Tell me, are you going to waste time from today onwards? How many of you are not going to waste time? Please type I in the chat section. Have you realized how important the time is? We have really less time, my God. And we do not even realize it. See, the calculation is in front of you. And this calculation is something which I have not done. It is something that is being done by Harvard University. So do not trust me, but trust the calculation of Harvard. So we have only 9 years and we waste it. We waste our time like we have unlimited time, but unfortunately, we do not have unlimited time. So that is something, this study is something which is more than enough for you to get back on track. This study itself shows that from today onwards, you have to be really ambitious about what you want in life. Take your time really seriously. So that's why my mentors, one of my mentors, he works so hard, Robin Sharma. So one day somebody went up to him and asked that, sir, you have so much of money, you are billionaire, you coach Sundar Pichai, you coach Bill Gates. What else do you want? I believe you should go and take some rest. I believe you should go and take some rest. And that is when my mentor see the line that I'm about to show it to you. And such powerful this line is. So that mentor of mine said that I will sleep once I am in the graveyard. I will sleep once I am in the graveyard. I have only 78 years to live, and after that I have to sleep in the graveyard. So before that, I am alive every single day. I'm squeeze out and give my best, because at the end everybody is going to go graveyard, and we are going to have a wonderful rest over there. This is something that literally shook me when I came across this sentence. It literally shook me that so true it is. All of us are going to sleep in the graveyard. So the time that we spend, it is our utmost responsibility. Those 9 years that we are going to spend, it is our utmost responsibility to make the best out of it. So my question to you is, all of you, that are you living your life by default? Are you living your life by default, or are you living your life by planning? Are you living your life by default, or are you living your life by planning? I believe that most of us are living our life by default. Time goes, we work without planning, and that's it. Time goes away by default. Thank you so much, Srinivas, for being so honest. We are living life by default, not by planning. How many of you, please be very honest, how many of you prepare your task at hand? Means before you go to bed, how many of you have a habit of planning for the next day? If yes, please type I. And be very honest. Do not write because you have to impress. Be honest. Sushma does it, Parvati does it. Very good. So see that such limited population is there. Like all of us, what we do not plan our day. So we are living our life by default, not by planning. And there is a famous quotation which says that if you plan to fail, oh, I'm so sorry. The quotation goes like, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So let me repeat once again. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So we are living our life by default, not by planning. And that's why our life is not the way we want. We want to design it. We want to design our life, but we do not want to plan. Even if we want to design the wall of our building, of our home, we plan for it. If we have to go for a trip, we plan for it. If we want to eat something and order from Zomato, we plan for it. But when it comes to life, we do not plan. We do not plan. We just follow the routine. We just follow the by default time and system and process, but we do not plan. Think about it. It's so hard hitting concept that we do not plan our days. We do not plan our time. Let's move forward. The real work starts with personal mastery. The real work starts with personal mastery. If you do not master yourself, then what is the meaning of mastering over communication skills? If you cannot master yourself, If we say that I cannot wake up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., that means we are living our life by default, not by planning. If I plan, then I should do that. If I'm not doing it, then definitely I'm not living my life by plan. I am just living by default. So everything starts from personal mastery. So let me tell you a story, and I will try to give a quick glimpse of it. So there is a person who is a working professional. One day he gets an urgent call from his management that an urgent meeting is there. Some foreign delegates are about to be in the office in 30 minutes, and his presence is requisite. He gets frustrated and irritated that how come the management could not imitate him? How could not the management notify him before? He gets frustrated and he decides to just get out of home without eating food. And when he goes inside in the parking lot, he just quickly rushes into it. And then he starts driving his car. And to be of his dismay, he sees that there's a huge queue of traffic. And at the same time, it's a scorching heat, 45, 46, 47 degrees Celsius. He's cursing that what's happening today? I have to reach my office on time. The traffic is there. My car is not even going slightly. My car is not even inching forward. How is it possible? Thing is going bad. And while you were going through that turmoil, all of a sudden you see that there is another traveler who is riding a bike. He cuts in front of you and he suddenly hits and makes a little scratch on your car. You do not have AC in your car. It's 46 degrees Celsius. You are getting late. And because of this incident, now you are completely out of your mind. You are absolutely angry. You get voracious and you start abusing and telling a lot of things to this person. Sounds familiar, right? All of us, we do like this. But let's do a quick change over here. The change in the scenario is that imagine that person who is riding a bike, who scratched your car. He is in a hurry because his son is in the hospital. His son is fighting his last battle. His son is about to die. The doctor has said that he will live only 5 minutes, not more than that. If he wants to see his son, he has to quickly rush to the hospital. And if he cannot do that, he can never ever see his son again. And you somehow get to know about this thing. Tell me, are you going to react in anger? How many of you are now angry? Please type I. Or how many of you feel that no? All of a sudden, your emotions are going to change and you will not say anything. You will let this person go without any anger. Please type I in the chat section. No. Now your thought process is completely changed. Why? Because now you know the entire picture, that why is that the person was hurrying. Now you're will let the person go. Absolutely. Now you are not going to abuse him. Why? Because now you know the reason. Now you know the reason. That means the world is not the way you perceive it. You may feel that how you feel is the way the world operates. But no, it's not the truth. The world does not operate based upon your thought process. The world operates on its own and you give a meaning to it. For example, when this person crashed, rammed, and created a scratch on your car, because you had certain perception, you got mad. But now when you came across this news that this person is about to lose his son, your emotion changes and you get calm. Why? The situation is same, but what's all of a change in attitude? That's exactly when the life gives you a challenge. That's exactly when you come across any hurdle in life and you give it a definition of problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. But it's not a problem. So this person, definitely he realizes his mistake and he will never do it. So in short, we need to work upon rewiring of our mental model. So somehow this mental model is where we need to work. The thing, the way we perceive things, the way we think of things, this needs to change. How you communicate to yourself when you come across any problem. Do you get excited that if I solve this problem, I can grow and become a better person? I can learn something. If I overcome this problem, I be get some instant, I can get some quality results. Or while looking at problems, you get demotivated, dejected. That come on, another problem is there. Life keeps on giving me problems. What's your attitude towards problems? So this mindset has to change. No matter how much you can learn from books, unless this doesn't change, nothing will change. This mindset has to change. It's like I have a knife. I have a knife. I can use it to kill someone, or I can also use it to cut fruits. If my mindset is to kill someone, then I have to change my mindset. And I can also use that knife to cut fruits, which is a productive work. And that's exactly how we are supposed to operate. This mindset is so powerful. We have to remodel it. And that's what we are doing in the workshop today. We are remodeling. We are working upon redefining our mental model. So how many of you, this is my question, that how many of you, like when the alarm clock rings, when the alarm clock rings at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 5:30 a.m. in the morning, how many of you are there? Please be very honest. Please be very honest. How many of you press the snooze button and feel that, come on, another morning has just begun. I have to wake up. I have to go office. Again, I have to engage in the work. So how many of you feel like that? That again, my boring life is getting started. Please type I in the chat section if you have this feeling that another day has just started. Again, Monday, my God. Yesterday it was Sunday. Tomorrow it is Sunday. All of you are excited that you will be at your home. But again, when Monday comes, my God, I have to go to office again. I have to again travel for 1 hour. And how many of you feel excited? Well, that is really less proportion. That today it's a new day. I have to give my best. You feel excited. You like as soon as the alarm clocks ring, you just put it off. You get up with energy. You take bath. You do exercise. You go to office. You give your 200%. How many of you do that? How many of you do that? If yes, please type me in the chat section. Me. I believe the ratio is really less, isn't it? The ratio is really less. Really less. Wonderful, Palash, if you do that. Very few of us are blessed with this lifestyle. And what I want to speak out to you, that is, if you are not doing anything great, you are betraying yourself. If you are not doing anything great, you are betraying yourself. If after waking up in the morning, you do not feel excited, you are betraying yourself. If you do not enjoy your work, you are betraying yourself. In fact, Robin Sharma says that we are meant to achieve greatness. And if we do not achieve that, then we are betraying ourselves. We are just passing our day. We are just making ourselves fool. And I'm brutally honest with you that it's just like that. When Jeff Bezos or when any other millionaire or billionaire you can talk about, it doesn't mean that they do not have any problems. They of course are the owner of billion-dollar companies. Don't you think that they have so much to think about? Even a slightest of mistake and the entire company will crash. It's not that they do not have this problem, but they are excited when they wake up with excitement. But very few of us do that. My message to all of you is that if you are not doing anything great, you are betraying yourself. A lot of people, that's a famous quotation that I have learned, of course, from uh, Mr. Vittal. It's not a book name. I'm just quoting it from the training. There is nothing, no book. These are different lessons that I have learned over a period of time from different mentors. So one of my mentors, he says that a lot of people die at 80. A lot of people die at 20. I'm so sorry. A lot of people die at 20 and buried at 90. It's a wonderful statement. Please look into it once again and read it loud. A lot of people die at 20 and buried at 90. As soon as we go into our job, we do not feel excited. We feel that something is missing, and we continuously work upon doing that thing time and again and again and again. So you're already dead at 20, but you are buried at 90. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. Unless you are not living your life, unless you are not living your life by design, by planning, we are already dead. Because only dead corpse doesn't design its life. If we are not designing our life, what we do, we are just acting like other species, like dogs, cats. They love to live in herd. They are happy with basic needs, food, clothes, and shelter. They say, relax. What? Why should we do that? Why should we even go to school? Relax. Our basic needs are fulfilled. So if that is what we are doing, then we are equivalent to other species, because they also relax. They get food, they get water, they get shelter, they relax. And that's why one of my mentors, he always says that when people say relax, I say bullshit. There is nothing called relaxation. There is nothing called relaxation. You just have 9 years of time. You can do so much. And what you are doing, wasting your time in comfort, just like other species do. If we are blessed with mind, we are blessed with intelligence, it is our responsibility that we should be doing things which is million times more than what animals do. But if we are living just like animals, eating, sleeping, that's it. Of course, animals stay on road, and we are staying in a bungalow. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. Rest if everything is same, then I'm sorry, we are not living our life. If we are living life by default, then that's what animals do. Successful people, they live their life on their own terms. They design it, they define it, they plan for it. Yes, please excuse me if I'm honest with you, because even I am also going to apply the same lessons in my life. That's why I'm telling you to do the same. Everything begins with you. That is the most important lesson that I can tell you. Everything begins with you. If you change, everything will change. That's why there is a famous saying that if you want things to change, you should change. If you cannot change, nothing will change. If you want things to change, you have to change. The world will not change. The political leaders will not change. You have to change. No one is going to change. You have to change. If you want to have the result what only 5% of the people have in the world, then you have to, or you should be willing to do what only those 5% people do. Simple maths, simple calculations. The 5% of the people who are in the top, they take risk, they enjoy, but they invest their time. They keep on learning, engaging in in different activities. They make sure that even their single second doesn't get waste. They keep on upgrading their mind. They do not go into their comfort zone. They do not want rich quick skim. They hustle, they work hard every day. They wake up at 5, they go for gym, and still they manage time. Sometimes people say that, sir, I do not get time to read books. And I always give this metaphor. I tell to them that even the richest man, who is right now Jeff Bezos of the world, not Jeff Bezos, right now it's Elon Musk. He's the richest person of the world. Even he says that I read books every day for 1 hour. So he is somebody who is billionaire, who is like who has a lot of responsibility on his shoulder. Even he gets time to read book for 1 hour, and he says that just by implementing some good habits, I change my mind, I change the way I function. So if he can do it, then definitely you and I, like, we are making excuses. As simple as that. If somebody is ambitious, that's what I gave you the definition of ambition, how urgent it is and how persistent you are. Sometimes people say that I want to come and learn communication skill in just 15 days. Unrealistic expectations. How is it possible to learn communication skill in 15 days? If you want to do that, then give 20 hours every day. I can give you the result. But if you are not willing to put in that effort, unrealistic expectations, how is it possible? So these are the qualities of hero that you need to imbibe. You need to understand that success doesn't come easily. In fact, I would like to hear tell you about Kobe Bryant. How many of you know, have you heard this name called Kobe Bryant? He is a great football, like he is an NBA player. After this class, you can search for him, Kobe Bryant. So Kobe Bryant, like, he's one of the most influential, richest athlete of the world. And one day, what happened that Kobe Bryant called his coach at 2 a.m. in the morning. At 2 in the morning, he called his coach, and he texted and called and said that, coach, I want to do some exercise. I want to go for some practice. Please come and help me out. So the coach decides to go and help Kobe. They do some practice for the coach trains him for 2 hours. After that, the coach comes back to his home. He takes some rest, he eats breakfast, he spends time with his family, and then again coach goes back at 10 a.m. next day in the same league, practice league. And there he sees again a lot of people by 10 a.m. come, and he sees Kobe as well, sweating, draining, draping in sweat. And he goes to Kobe and smiles and says that, hey, our session yesterday was amazing. I'm literally moved that at 2 you called me up. We had great 2 hours of practice session. So I had a wonderful rest. What about you? What were you doing? And Kobe, with a sweat on his face, he said, what do you mean what I was doing? When you left, even that time as well, I was practicing. I did not even go to my home. You left for your home, but still I was practicing. I was engaged in my game. I want to be the best. And that's why Kobe, who was not even known to anyone in the world, he's today the most expensive athletes of the world. Why? Because he changed his mindset. He worked upon his mindset. When others were relaxing, he said that he said no to relaxing. He enjoyed the process. He went out of the comfort zone because he knew that if I spend my life like everybody, make some money, get some success, sleep, eat, enjoy, then I'm not doing anything. If I die, people will forget me in 5 days. And that's what happens. People will forget you in 5 days. And that's why I love this Milkha Singh's dialogue in his movie. If you have gotten the opportunity to watch Milkha Singh, you must have heard this dialogue that he once committed to himself that I want to work so hard that one day there should be a holiday on my name. When I die, there should be a holiday on my name. And yes, today in India, we do celebrate the day when he died. He left our earth, Mother Earth. So that's the most important thing, that everything begins within you. So if you see here, front end and back end, if you see such a beautiful piece of cloth on the left hand side, this beautiful piece of cloth will definitely looks astounding. But at the back, if you see at the back end, such messy situation it is. This is how our life is. At the back, you need to go through a lot of challenges and problems, a lot of pain. And that is when at the front, People may see you, or people will see you as successful. And that's why there is a famous saying that all changes, and I would like you to write it down or take the screenshot if possible, that all changes are hard in the beginning. All changes are hard in the beginning, messy in the middle, and beautiful at the end. When you start something, for example, here all of you have gathered to work upon communication skills. It's going to be hard, supremely hard in the beginning. It's going to be messy in the middle. In the middle, you may feel that things are not working out. You should rather quit. But if you persist, then changes are beautiful at the end. If you can see on the left hand side how beautiful this piece of cloth is from the front, but at the back, see how much of mess this even piece of cloth had to go through to be converted into this beautiful piece of art. Do what 5% of the population is willing to do? Absolutely. If you want to have the results of 5% population, then what they do it, and you will also get the results. As simple as that. In the beginning of the workshop, I mentioned that success has a process. Everything is a process. So see what others do, what successful people do it, and you will also get the result. As simple as that. No rocket science, nothing. But you have to do it. Else, you and I, we will keep on blaming the luck. God doesn't favor me. COVID is not in my favor. COVID has taken my job out. And the same COVID has also given lakhs of money to people. So we should stop blaming outer circumstances. Yes. No idea work unless you do the work. Most important slide for the day. Nothing will work if you do not work. I can share ideas, but unless you do not implement, work upon these ideas, nothing will improve, nothing will change. So no idea work unless you do the work. Something that is really important. And a vision without daily execution is hallucination. A vision without daily execution is hallucination. I can teach you so many stuffs. I can give you a lot of things. But if you do not work upon it, then nothing will come. It's like, imagine I give you the remote of the air conditioned and you know how it works, but you are not willing to type on the power button. If I do not press the power button, AC will not work. I have the knowledge how to operate this remote, but if I do not if I do not take the effort to press the button, AC will not start. So no idea will work if you do not work. That's the most important thing. Work upon what the ideas you are getting. And that's why let's do a live diagnosis. So here, I would like you to take the screenshot and do this exercise after we are done with the workshop. Do this exercise after we are done with the workshop. And the workshop is, in life, how much on a scale of 10, you have to give yourself marks on a scale of 10, where 1 is for very poor and 10 is for like extremely satisfied. So in health and fitness, how much would you like to give yourself out of 10? In meaningful relationship with your friends, with your parents, out of 10, how much would you like to give to yourself? In terms of satisfying career, on scale of 1 to 10, how much would you like to give to yourself? Personal finances, how much money you have saved, how much money you are making. Peace of mind, because at the end, this is what the goal of our life is all about. We want peace.